Let's do this. Oh. For terror, for glory, for all that we've sworn, our destiny is charted, our enemies scorned. Alright. There we go. Hello, everyone. My name is Commissar Hecht. I do apologize for the delay in the stream. I was getting tea ready, and I wanted to make sure that we skip through the actual first episode, the first ad. But hello, everybody. My name is Commissar Hecht. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another edition of Warhammer Painting. We're going to be painting Imperial Guard as always, and as always with each live stream, it is a charity live stream for the UNHCR for refugees. The ticker is up at the top. Oh, well, technically up at the top, right? Just want to make sure. Well, yeah, up at the top. Well, no, that way, up at the top. I gotta remember. I gotta remember which side it's at. Yeah, up there, up there. It's up there. It's over on my right shoulder. Or if you're looking at the model camera, it's right here. Hey, two thumbs up. Anyway, we got. I really like to get it to move. Um, I would love to get it to 500. Really like to get it to move to $500. And whatnot. But anyway, just because I would like to reach it, a small portion of the goal. I really would. But that is neither here nor there. Oh, everyone's got to know that I am filming. Hold on. Just copy, paste, post, paste. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, but anyway, thank you all for tuning in. For those of you that do, yeah, I'm gonna preemptively say thank you because normally I say it at the end, and most people have gone by the end. So I'm gonna preemptively say thank you. Those of you who do donate, I seriously do appreciate it, and those of you that will continue to support me by either watching the stream or watching or talking about the lore and all that stuff. Or just talking, just allowing me to entertain you guys. That's also very important, and I appreciate each and every one of you. But anyway, let us get back to the painting. We were painting heads, lots of heads, um, and if I can move the camera, so that way you guys know exactly what I'm planning on. So we have. I'm trying to get an even number or near to an even number of heads. That way, there's enough diversity within the guardsmen. Um, so that way people know that, this these guys come from a world with more not just a single monochromic faction. So we got your standard pale Caucasian style. You've got a tanner olive skinned style. You've got a tanner, more darker pigment style, and you've got more of a, like the African sub-Sahara style of skin tones that we're working with. So, we're gonna. Oh boy, I don't know why I'm so tired all of a sudden. Whoo, that's not good. Just ban you real quick. But yeah, so that's what we got right now. Alrighty. Trying to think what we want to do. I think we're going to continue. So, oh, that's right. I was painting the back of this guy's head, the Voxcaster. So I would go here. He would go there. He would go there, and then he would go there. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. I did have a method to the madness. I just had to refresh myself. All right. Okay, let's get to it. Oh, I can hear my tea getting ready. Once we get our tea, then we can get to it. Oh, and I really should start talking about like the skinks I just finished for Brianna. So we let me just talk about that real quick. So we I bought a box of skinks because Breeze likes the dinosaur, the Sephiron for Age of Sigmar. Obviously, they also would work for Old World if they were on square bases. But yeah, I finished literally 24 of them last night. So I'm gonna have to box them up because she's probably not gonna want to paint them just yet. So let me do that after I get the tea ready and all that stuff, and then we'll actually start painting. I promise you, we will paint. I promise. Jesus Christ. I swear I'm a professional, ladies and gentlemen. I swear. Uh, thing about the skinks is that they're fairly small. They're small models, so you can kind of pack them in pretty good. With all of what she's got, though, she could probably start a sizable 500 point army for Sigmar, for Age of Sigmar. I don't necessarily know how expensive skinks are, per se, points-wise. But she definitely has quite the army. Because she's got Agrisaur riders and a spawn of Chotek, too. So, she paints that all up. She's got a fairly large skink army. Not to mention, I still have some old Lizardmen style Sephiron boxes, the old battalion boxes with the 20 warriors and the old Saurus Knights on cold ones. So she's certainly got a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's certainly got a lot. I'll tell you that much. And I will say that it was fun building these guys. Although as fun as they were, I still think they're super fiddly. They got super tiny fiddly bits. It was fun but challenging in that weird way. There we go. Alright, outstanding. Now we got the skinks out of the way. I can make my cup of tea and have my tea with me while we paint. Just put this back over here. Come on. Very nice. There. Thank you for cooperating. Oi! Okay. I hope everyone's having a good day. I really do. Now that my tea is steeping, we'll put a timer for 5 minutes. And we will actually, a quick little Imperial Guard song. We'll be 5 minutes and we'll start painting and all that stuff. Off to war, and I want a good ability when the codex hits the store. With the update drop and they got the chop and they kicked me out the door. You saddle me in a legend sheet and I won't be seen no more. Minkalesk and the rattling shafts, straight to legends born. And Cheddar-Chan's old iron hand, and Harker we shall mourn. They took from us the Macarius and the mighty Malcador. They shift them off to legends, wait for the Rogaldorn. Pound for Medusa rounds in the rear that shakers roar. And they took from us the Macarius and the mighty Malcador. They shipped him off to legends they made for the Rogaldorn. Ah, damn, that's quick. Legends and they made for the Rogaldorn. My heart would pound for Medusa rounds, hear their shakers roar. And reach the thrill of a breaching drill and the Taros Venator. Ah, Taros Venator. Oh, that's a bit of a tongue tie. I'm surprised the dude sang it so effortlessly. No fears with the Gringineers. It's my fears with the engineers, then nerf them to the floor. There's no peers for the Grenadiers, the pride of the whole Death Corps. That stanza's kind of a bit of a tongue twister. I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised I slurred my words as much as I did there. It's still a good song. It's just a difficult one to sing to. This goes off to war, and I wanna boot ability. The codex hits the store. With the update drop, and I got the chop, and they kicked me out the door. Now they saddled me with a legend sheet, and I won't be seen no more. It was a day in tournament play, make the spirit soar. But I'm gathering dust like Dominus. There's nothing left in store. I wanna be in the army sheet. This goes off to war. I'll be is a memory forevermore. Alright, tea should be ready. With pride and mirth, I will prove my worth on the back of a bold centaur. Or give it. Oh, damn. Evening, Chicken McNugget. You are the first. You're the first to say hi. Yeah, good afternoon. 12 minutes of good afternoon. Yeah, you're the first. So, how was your day? Painting on the sprue again. I am. I am. How are you today? I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired. This short week was kind of draining. Draining? How come? It's it's work. It's there are days that you know you know what you got to do, but it's like the day in day out grind, and you feel like you never got enough done on your day off. Um, that just it's just kind of it's just kind of draining. That's all. I'm doing good. The day was good. Oh, what did you get? What did you do? What kind of shopping did you get? Oh man, you do look tired. Oh yeah, well, It's weird because I got decent sleep last night. I think I only woke up the once. Groceries, sir. Relax. Oh, if you're going shopping, you're going just like you can be excited for that, even if it is just groceries. Even if it is, I bought myself a moldy potato. Well, what are we painting today, big dog? We are painting heads. Lots of heads. I am painting heads. I did get a whole bush of hydrangeas for uh, 23 bucks each. Oh, that sounds lovely. Hydrangeas are like it looks like a flower. Hold on. Now I gotta look. It's like a purplish. Yes, yes, I know what a hydrangea is. Yes, I know what a hydrangea is. It's like a big purplish mushroom. The guardsmen? Yes, we are painting heads on guardsmen. I was thinking rhododendron for some reason. I'm going to make a bad head joke. I was going to make a bad head joke. I'm just going to finish it for you. There is no such thing as bad head because all kinds of head is great. Uh, hey, and you finish just easily. Yeah, we're painting guardsmen today. I didn't say anything about that. How do you overcome paint fatigue? Hold on. Let me think of that answer because that's a very good question, and I want to give you a very thoughtful answer. Um, it's hard not to get paint fatigue, and for those of you that don't know what paint fatigue is, it's basically when a hobbyist has been working really hard on a project or two, and they just get not depressed, but they don't feel the same kind of joy or motivation um, that that they get normally when they paint. So paint fatigue is a real thing. Hold on, chicken McNugget is so the flowers are usually 190, which I mean, come on, 23 per bush. That's an amazing deal. It is an amazing deal. That's very that's an incredible deal. No, I'm not fed up. Orcskin Hobbies says that after a project, uh, I'm I'm wanting it done. I'm just sick of painting, and he's talking about paint fatigue. Um, so my answer is I kind of ignore it. Like I know that's not the answer you necessarily want, but it's just like I look at my work desk and I say, all right, I got this time off. Instead of me watching TV or, oh yeah, no, no, I'm agreeing. I'm just trying to help describe it too. Oh yeah, yeah, yes, 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 yes. Sorry, sorry. So I kind of look at my table and I'm like, okay, I don't. I could watch TV or I could do X, Y, and Z and do that and get that done. But realistically, I need to just get the painting done because I want to. One, I want to buy more models. Two, I want to actually get, progress in my hobby. And I have obligations I need to make. So, how I beat paint fatigue is I kind of give myself no choice. I give myself not the option of succumbing to paint fatigue. Um, Basically, to be very reductive, I look in the mirror and said, "Mama didn't raise no bitch," and then I just kind of deal with it. Well, so basically, you just gaslight yourself. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Yeah. Commissar said he just gaslights himself and verbally abuses himself in the mirror in order to get painting done. I don't know, think that this is the hobby for me. No, it's you, you just have to find some you just have to find a way to um you have to find a way that works with you. Whether it's I've got obligations that I really do want to complete and I want to buy more stuff and I can't buy more stuff if I have um if I have projects that I need to get done. I'm just so sick of painting Lieutenant Titus. Oh yeah. Well, no. Now he is Captain Titus, Warden of Ultramar. He's a self-masochist and a sadist at the same time. I mean, if your hobby doesn't hurt you, yeah. What's with the Captain Titus thing? All right. Okay. I'll let me pause my music real quick and I'll explain that to you. All right. So, oh, I forgot to get into the voice chat. I'm a rookie. You're a fucking rookie there, Commissar. All right, there we go. Recording. There we go. Now anyone can join me. Is that the new Space Marine game coming out? No. Okay, so Games Workshop released the new. Um, Basically, Games Workshop released the new um, Sunset campaign between 10th edition and the 11th edition, and joining. Oh yes, oh thank you. I got some weird news. Oh okay. Take your time. I can barely hear you.
What's going on, brother?
Oh, okay, there we go. Now I can hear you. All right. So, all right, the Captain Titus thing. All right, so Games Workshop about 2.5, 3 weeks ago announced the 500 Worlds campaign, and that's basically the end campaign going into um, uh, from wrapping up 10th edition going into 11th. So in that campaign, Captain Acheron dies, and then off camera, and then Charon dies off camera. They die holding a World Against High Fleet Leviathan, and then that's it. So the story of the 500 Worlds, you have the Necrons, you have, and I just closed out of it too. Community. So the 500 Worlds. I need to. Hive Scum. I'm excited about that. So Titus returns. So the 500 worlds are, if I can find what it's about. Yeah, Sylvester Acheran died. Where is the 500 Worlds announcement? Of course, it's. God damn it. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So the 500 Worlds is basically the. It's about the Pariah Nexus, and the Necrons are trying to restructure the Satan Nightbringer as an actual shard, like a true shard of Satan. And then we have like some big baddie, um, uh, old model style Wraith Guard, or sorry, Necron Wraith. Um, that's the old format or the old body language that we've got, and it's basically Necrosur Armamenter, and uh, basically it's closing the chapter on the Pariah Nexus, um, for the for that particular campaign. Uh, there's gonna be Tyranids in there, and um, there might be some Death Guard still kicking around from the Plague War, but it's setting up the main antagonist to be the Ultramarines versus the Necrons again. So, but yeah, Captain Titus, or Titus, is now captain again of the second company. So that's why. But anyway, how have you been? How have you been?
I've been all right, just working a lot and trying to get some courses done so I can get a qualification and keep moving on.
All right, cool, cool, cool. All righty. Yeah, I yeah. So I think my prediction. I was right about the hive scum prediction. I was right about that, and now I'm right about uh, and now oh hi Quackamo, blip. And now I am curious if I'm going to be right about the 500 worlds, and if it's the Sunset Campaign to 11th edition, or Sunset Campaign introducing 11th edition, like what they did with the Gathering Storm and 8th edition, 7th to 8th edition. So I am curious. So how are you, Quackamo? I am excited for the hive scummed. It's the weekend. Yes, it is. Yes, it is the weekend. Although I've got a lot of chores this weekend, but not too bad. But yeah, I'm so you're painting Titus. What else are you painting?
I have a Captain and Terminator armor from the Leviathan that I'm working on. I have a Saturnine Proprietor I'm working on. I have a uh, Dark Angels Terminator out of production model that I'm working on, and I have.
I do
God,
like
what's the other model?
I do like the old Dark Angels Terminators. They
Yeah,
had
they're
a
pretty sweet.
they had a really good feel to them. Um, is it the metal Dark Angels Terminators, or is it the Dark Vengeance Terminators?
Dark Vengeance.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, they're still good. I like the feel of the
Yeah,
Dark
they're good.
Vengeance Terminators. I really do. Um, Not saying that the new ones are bad in design. I think the design feel of the Dark Vengeance Terminators just did them a little bit more credit. Um,
Yeah, there's a little bit more nostalgia there.
yeah, but a good choice. Good choice. I do enjoy the Dark Angels stuff. Guacamole, are you painting anything? You enjoying yourself on this mighty fine weekend? Soon to be mighty fine weekend. Oh Lord. Hoy. Alrighty, so that one's done. Oh man, we are so close. Well, I still have Noise Marines looking at me on my desk. Oh, go ahead and start throwing on some leopard print, my boy. Them glam rockers ain't gonna glam rock without you. Oh, we're not gonna take it. I know we ain't gonna take it. That honestly, when you think of tomorrow, okay, all right, tomorrow it is. When you think of like true hair metal, Twisted Sister is the first thing and only band that comes to my mind because it's late and I'm tired. Yeah, no, no, totally fine, totally fine. Never force painting. If you literally do not have the mojo to paint, do not force yourself. I do because I am slightly a hypocrite and I feel like if I don't have projects that I am beholden to, I will just combust into um, a pile of nothingness. But you know, don't be like me. I I don't mind having nothing to do, but I think if I truly did have nothing to do, I would get bored really quickly and try and find something to do. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I've been just so well indoctrinated into life being busy and hectic, and I'm pulled in 17 different directions that I don't know anything else. And that should I truly find myself having nothing to do, I just might go insane. Also, the goddamn ads. No, you shouldn't have any ads. Oh, you don't have membership again. Ah. Your sub died. Oh, yeah, well, you know. All good things must come to an end. Yes, true, true. Anyways, did I miss anything? No, we were just talking about like what people's work projects are like, and the fact that I am a massive hypocrite when it comes to like the painting hobby, because I feel like if I don't have anything to do, I'd go insane.
All right, sorry, I was just getting all my painting stuff set up. Gotta clean up my sweat palette. I
Yeah,
don't think you want to hear the water running.
that's all right. Yeah,
Water
guacamole.
on base.
Honestly, I like the fact. Guacamole, if you do paint up your noise marines as a hair metal band, that would be amazing. Like truly Twisted Sisters hair metal, that would be fantastic. Oh no, sorry for suddenly disappearing. My mom's friend suddenly passed away. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, oh, that's my condolences, Chicken McNugget. Yeah, they really really colorful. All right, so we got that done. Now we do the. Yeah, I am sorry about the bad news there, Chicken McNugget.
Oh,
That kind of sucks. I'm sorry. Hopefully the whatever happened is explainable. And the, the 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 end of it all is, um, if she how she passed away. Hopefully it was peacefully or quick, one of the two. Give me a peaceful death or a quick one, please and thank you. If life could be so accommodating. Yeah, it was a plain old heart attack. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah, those are never
what was
good.
that?
Those are never good. Those are never good. Heart attacks are never good. Heart attacks are never fun. It was due to bad diabetes. I don't think heart. I'm not a doctor, so maybe diabetes do. Maybe you are prone to heart attacks if you're diabetic, but had to be other stuff too. Yep, your high blood pressure. Okay, all right. I was about to say it just couldn't have just been diabetes. I got the diabetes. Come get a little Liberty Mutual Healthcare to help beat diabetes and get your diabetes medicine free. That man basically was a walking meme for a lot of kids in my generation. Now the memes are almost nonsensical. It's just brain rot for the sake of brain rot. And I know I just sounded like old man yelling at clouds, but you know. Oh hell yeah, that stupid tra la 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 shark thing. That's a new one. That I just learned about 6-7. That's a new one. That shit is just wild. But it's just nonsensical. It's a meme going into a meme going into a meme. Your old man yelling at clouds. Hello, fellow humans that enjoy human activities like breathing. Hi, tiny gray people. I'm assuming you feel better. Your Twitter post basically said that you felt like absolute dog crap. So I hope you're not sick still. Or you might need to call the Krankenwagen and go to the Krankenhaus and see a doctor. Das ist Vitamin. Is it doppelganger tiny gray people? What the fuck?
Get in there. Where's my water? Right there.
That's not really my true German accent. It's been so long since I've actually practiced German, but if I wanted to work on an accent, I gotta do the I gotta actually like practice the phonetics before I put an accent onto it. But that was a parody of a German accent.
Okay.
No, I'm still a bit sick, and work was hell over the last week, but it should be better. They still made you come into work, even though you were sick, brother. That's like contact tracing 101. You have become the super spreader. Do a real one. I was first. Oh man. I have to practice my German though. Um, God, what's a good German phrase, or not phrase, but sentence I know? It's been such a long time since I've practiced. This is the American speaking, where they don't give a shit about employees. I mean, I do. I care. I care about people's health. Trust me, if there were airmen that showed up and they looked dog death sick, brother, go home. Report into sick call. Get seen by the doc. Get your quarters slip. I'm okay. It's more than I have to do. Bad sleep throughout last week. Oh, it's more than that. I have so much to do, and you had bad sleep. Damn. Eek. That's tough. Yeah, bad sleep with a cold sucks. Because you're already feeling not the greatest, and then you have that 1-2 punch. I hate the if you have a head cold. Don't know if that's hair metal enough for you. All right, let's see. Let's take a look. Oh, hell yeah! Oh, hell yeah! I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, the teal and the pink turquoise and the like midnight blue loincloth. That's solid. That's hair metal. And I like the tiger patterned base. That's pretty slick. All right. Sadly, my workplace is moving to another hair house, so I'm really busy currently. I have like clocked 50 hours this week, and I have a 39-hour contract. Ugh, brother, that's no bueno. That is not good, mein Herr. That's not good at all. Oh, God, that is garbage. Especially with the 39-hour contract. That's not good because that's like 1 hour. I mean, I don't know what German work week is, but in America, that's 1 hour shy of a 40-hour work week. So technically, you are part time. Most shady companies will do that. They'll put you as a part-time employee, so that way they avoid taxes and avoid having to pay you benefits and stuff. Um, so I'm assuming Germany doesn't do or doesn't have as a problematic work culture that Americas do. But I wouldn't know because I'm a government worker. I work for the
Yeah,
military.
it's hard to talk about certain things when we're government officials.
I work in the military industrial complex.
We're just a cog in the machine, bro.
Yeah, that's all we are.
That's all we ever are.
They turned us into batteries. We're living in the Matrix. All right, I'm thinking for my perfect blade, solid gold base painted. Oh no, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. But anyway, uh, people wanted to talk about lore, and there are some people that are trying to figure out what their army is going to be because they are going to take the plunge and join our little community in painting and building and collecting. So, with that being said, what are anyone's lore questions? Because we have some people that are interested in the lore, but they don't necessarily know what they're going to do. So, come up with your lore questions, and and I will give it to you. For those of us that are actually like not new, but have been in it for a while.
We're still new. We're just been here for a minute.
Well, except me, I've been here for 20 years.
Hey, you've been here for a minute.
I'm so old and crusty, I remember when it was called Rogue Trader Warhammer. Ah. But yeah, I'm sorry, Tiny Gray people, that you were working through having a cold. What's up with hating someone who chooses towers to build? Okay, this one's a super easy kill, right? When it talks about lore. Okay. On the surface, right? If we're just talking surface level and memes, the tower introduced at the end of 3rd edition, and they were touted and introduced as the anime faction because basically during the development of the Tau race, all the way up until the 41st millennia, the Tau were didn't exist, right? There was zero evidence the Tau ever existed. And then 3rd edition came around and they introduced a new Xenos race called the Tau. And on face value, the Tau look like your standard anime, protagonist mecha faction, right? And the a lot of people didn't like the fact that they got rolled out as the super powerful, super good at ranged combat, could shoot off tanks and other high valued targets off the field without much effort, right? Their standard tank had what was called a railgun. It still is a railgun. At the time of 10th edition, it was one of the strongest weapons to basically pop tanks and kill enemy models and enemy characters. It was a strength 10, AP 2. You basically Terminator / tank killer. And it, if you had something that didn't have a toughness 6, which was very rare, it would kill anything. And because it was AP2, unless you had an invulnerability save, you're wounding regardless, right? And a lot of people thought that the Tau, how the Tau were packaged and how the Tau were presented themselves, kind of went against the whole grim dark fantasy of what's called of 40K, and because the Tau were like, oh, we're preaching the greater good, we believe in unity, we should what's it called? We should just all get along, and you should all just submit to the greater good because then your lives will improve, yada yada. And a lot of people basically reduced the Tau to blue communist weeb fish people, because that's what they were, or that's how their story was. All throughout the history of 40K, they didn't evolve until I think it was like 3,000, 5,000 years ago. Now in this timeline, it was like 5,000 years ago. And everyone's like, oh, we just need to uh, you know, the Tau just were like, oh, we just need to get along with each other and just serve the greater good, and everyone's welcomed, no one's hated. And so the kind of the backstory of the Tau was really jarring, and um, a lot of people thought it wasn't fleshed out. Now, blue communist weeb fish people, those words will never be uttered again in this combination. But I mean, it's true. It's true. So a lot of people, the Tau got basically flanderized into that basically specific style um, of memes, right? Um, and a lot of people thought that again, introducing the Tau was a mistake. That it went against the story of the grimdark future, because how dare anyone in the grimdark future think of anything positive or hope for anything better than just being grist to the mill and everything else. Why are they the anime race? It's because of their mechs and the fact that they use high-tech weapons for their standard battle line infantry, and they are very much Asiatic coded in their design language and their clothing and their kind of cultural identity ish. But again, the caste system's very, very reminiscent of the caste system of feudal Japan and India, and I would say parts of China, but China really didn't have a strict caste system like um, Japan did, or India. Tao are literally quite the opposite. They're using a caste system which makes people separate, and they're controlled by a religious order. I mean, yes, but and that's the other thing, is that the a lot of the stuff that people were talking about. I'm Indian. Please throw some lore my way so I can verify. Okay, so in all right, the caste system in Tao society is you're divided into at birth you go through, or sorry, if you're not, crap, how do I want to word this, because I don't want to sound like a fucking moron. So the Tao, you are already put into a caste system at birth. If you are, and it and all right, I gotta choose my words very carefully, because see how he's stressing. No, I want to get this right. I don't play Tau. I know enough people and I've read the lore, but I don't. What I do not want to do is misquote or misinterpret something or get something wrong, because I'm trying to educate people about 40K. Um, so I don't want to continue to Flanderize an already Flanderized faction, if that makes sense. I want to be able to explain the faction correctly and to the best of my knowledge, so that way people actually have a better understanding of what it is. Um, so, when the Tau came onto the scene, the caste system that was introduced was the fire caste, the water caste, the earth caste, the air caste, and the ethereal caste. So, the fire caste are the warriors that fight for the Tau Empire. All right. If you are born into the fire caste, you cannot be anything else than fire caste. If you choose to break the caste system, the Tau Ethereals will take you out of your caste system and put you into basically a re-education, re-indoctrination camp. And then if you then get re-educated, then you go back into the fire caste, right? Same thing with the earth caste, same thing with the water caste, same thing with the air caste, same thing. Well, the ethereal caste is something a little different, and we don't necessarily know when the ethereals came onto the scene. They're hinted that they came onto the scene fairly early. But starting basically in the early Tau history, the Tau were a ununited people. There were tribes of people very similar and reminiscent to the fire, earth, air, and water castes that would fight amongst each other. Then the ethereals came onto the scene. The ethereals basically unified the Tau. Now, it's hinted at that they're unifying the Tau through potential pheromone and psychic abilities. Like high chemical pheromone tracing and potentially psychic suggestion and persuasion. And they established the Tau Va, which is basically the way of the Tau. And that Tau Va is their rules and regulations and structure to how Tau society is supposed to work. And basically, how Tau society is supposed to work is that you work for the greater good. That is the Tau Va. So, the ethereals enforced these Tau to then become the earth, water, air, and fire castes. The fire castes are the warriors. The water castes are the diplomats. The earth castes are the workers, and the air castes are your Air Force slash I forget what else they are, but they're specifically are Air Force and pilot casts basically, and space casts, right? But again, it's a strict caste system. You cannot, if you are a fire warrior, you cannot, from what I understand, you cannot marry anyone outside of your caste. Or if you're a young fire warrior, you then can't go outside of your caste to become something else. You can't be a water caste or an air caste or a earth caste. You have to be a warrior. And if you're not, the ethereals will come, grab you, and re-educate you. And if you fail that consistently and continuously, you then become irrelevant. You become anti-Tau. And then you're a threat to them. Oh, but that's such a cute rule, forbidden love. Yeah, no, it's eugenics, basically. The Tau operate off of eugenics. So it's really not like it's cute forbidden love, but realistically, ooh, eugenics, ooh. In the Tau Empire, you get assigned a mandated government girlfriend and never seen again. Yeah, we don't necessarily know that, but they do hint it. So when the Tau ran into, yay, war crimes and human rights violations, yay, Fandros. We're talking about the Tau and why people hate the Tau. So originally, people hate the Tau because they thought that they were originally they hated the Tau because they thought the Tau did not fit the 40K setting, because the Tau were supposed to be this altruistic, or the Tau were presented in both the Codex and the both in the Codex and in the wider story when they were first introduced, this altruistic, we believe in rights for the people, yada yada. We believe in
the science of technology, yada yada. None of the Tau were psyker sensitive, but I'm failing to see the. No, I'm saying that they. I'm failing to see the Indian aspect. No, the reason why I say I take the caste system of the reason why the Indian, the reason why I mentioned how strict it was is because in India, if I remember correctly, unless you're referring to societal issues. Oh no, there are societal issues in the Tao Empire. If you read a lot of the Tao books, they hate the Guavesa auxiliaries. Oh my God, do they hate the Guavesa auxiliaries? Anyone who is not a Tau, ooh yeah, they hate the auxiliaries. They're basically lying to the auxiliaries in order to force them to do the dirty work that they think is below them. Similar to the untouchable issue. So yeah, um, it's bad. It's really bad. So people don't like the Tau because again, they Flanderize it to the extent of communist blue weeb fish people. So the long and short of it is that we don't like the Tau because they're OP. There's certainly a balancing issue when it comes to the game. For a very long time, the Tau do have the nasty ability of basically shooting people off the table, and you couldn't get to objectives. So there's that. There's also the fact that the Tau were seen as the quote unquote good guys, even though objectively they aren't the good guys because they believe in eugenics and all that stuff. As a matter of fact, in one book, oh God, I forget what it's called. I think it was Fireblade. They they're trying to experiment with the war. Fuck. There's going to be an ad. Snooze for 5 minutes. Oh, thank God. Okay, good. I was able to snooze the ad. Okay. I've used up all my ads. Oh, hold on. Let me finish this thought about the Tau, and then I'll answer the Alpha Legion. So in this particular book, the Tau are practicing because they don't have warp technology. They have zero psychers. They have zero sanctioned psychers. And the sanctioned psyker, so the only way to get into the warp is having navigators, which are sanctioned psychers. So the Tau are trying to use technology to mimic warp travel without having the use of psychers. Well, the problem is, without a Geller field, which is also powered by the psychers in some way, shape, and form, the demons can come onto the planet, can come onto the, what's it called? All right, hold on. I'll answer both those questions. Demons can come into the ship. So they were experimenting with warp drive. They had human, Kroot, and a few other auxiliary people on the ship. And demons saw the human souls, entered the ship, started fucking up everything, and it took them basically the Tau started to, or sorry, the Tau auxiliaries, the humans and all the other all the other aliens, basically started to believe in the greater good as a god, and to basically keep the ship from being overrun, the Tau god manifested at the last second and then saved the ship. But that was after the Tau literally killed every single human and every other alien species on the ship, because they were like, we're getting overrun by demons, and they're possessing these humans and all that stuff. So yeah. And then if the Tau control a planet that has a human population, there have been imperial reports from the Inquisition basically saying that as soon as the Tau control that planet fully, human birth rates decline rapidly, and the humans that are left are like a percentile of a minority percent. So now it's not, now they're hinting that they're doing genetic experiments and all that stuff on the humans. So yeah, the Tau aren't the good guys, but originally when they were introduced, they were bad. Yeah. Anyway, to answer your question in the order that it was given, the Alpha Legion. The Alpha Legion are considered traitors. They are considered traitor heretic Astartes. The reason why Quackamole is having his way with you per se in the comments and teasing you is because there is a running theory that Alpharius and Omegon were Alpharius and Omegon, the two Primarchs, were basically developed in order to prevent a heresy from happening, or infiltrating a rebel faction so thoroughly that once they actually did strike and did attack that rebel faction, it would be gone. The traitors would be no more. Now, we are not certain if Malkador or the Emperor gave them any sort of mission to stop Horus. And so we do not know if the Alpha Legion truly is a traitor legion, because we don't know what they're doing in the background with the both during the Horus Heresy and after the Horus Heresy. We do know that they do use demons, and they have no issues using demons. So they are, on a basis level, they are considered heretic Astartes because they have used demons in order to do the job that they needed to get done. But yeah, they're the Alpha Legion are. It's kind of like, how do I explain it? It is very much up for debate. Wasn't the traitor twin killed and the loyalist one survived? If I remember, as far as I remember, in the legionaries beneath the Imperial Palace, were supposed to awoken with the code word loyal to the Emperor. Something to that extent, but again, nothing ever happened, right? Even the Horus Heresy kind of left it up to interpretation of who the Alpha Legion is, like who they ultimately lied. Now, they did say that one of the twins was killed. Whether it was Alpharius or Omegon, we do not know. All we do know is that in apparently it's confirmed that the Alpha Legion is probably more loyalist than traitor in the latest book about the Alpha Legion. I haven't read it, so I couldn't tell you. But then again, every single time someone has gotten close to a correct answer, another Black Library author will say, the Alpha Legion is being the Alpha Legion. We don't know what they are. That kind of a deal. They pull that trick. Which is why the Alpha Legion is such a meme, because people don't necessarily know It looks like the book is coming out April 2026. Yes, I know. I'm aware of the particular book that you're talking about. But it has become a meme in Games Workshop psych groups that the Alpha Legion um, uh, is so convoluted in their stealth and infiltration and lies that um, uh, they don't even know who they're supposed to be. Yeah, because that guy that was supposed to deliver the code word was possessed by a witch that wanted to trigger the neither the Emperor nor Lupercal will take try to take control of chaos. Yeah, he was buried with the rest of the legionaries underneath the palace. That's all I know. Oh, you're talking about yeah. I know what you're talking about. No, I'm Alfarius. Yeah, it's basically it's become this running gag that the Alpha Legion doesn't even know what they're doing. Okay, now, what was the other question you asked? The other question you asked, hold on. Oh no, the ad. Ad is about to come in 60 seconds. Hold on, let's see if I can find the other question you asked and I can think about that while we play ads. Which groups is the most complicated or difficult to play? Basically, they're pretty boys. They're not as pretty as Sanguinius's Blood Angels. Like, that has been well established. That has been well established that every Blood Angel has a immaculate face card. That face card does not bounce, does not decline, no matter where you go. Yeah, the Blood Angels are all right. But their armor doesn't appeal to me. That's fine. There are plenty of successor chapters of Blood Angels. I want to choose something that appeals for me from Girl Logic. Ooh, this is pretty. I, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. What's it called? I'm not against that. Like, if you. Here's the thing. Oh, and there's the ad. Damn. 32 minutes, and then, well, not 32-minute ad. Dear God. I will wait till the ad is done. Ooh, yeah. Just about to say something in an ad. All right. Let me go and get some more tea. I'll be right back. BRB. I'm back. Okay. All right. So, your question: which groups are the most complicated or difficult to play? Faction-wise, I would have to say, if I was to rack and stack, Space Marines. Oh, hold on. Let me switch to Commissar's journal real quick. All right. If I'm to rack and stack, Space Marines are when we talk about factions in 40K, from easiest to hardest, rules wise, Space Marines are the most forgiving. Doesn't matter if they're chaos or it doesn't matter if it's loyalist or chaos Space Marines. They're the most forgiving. Why? Because they have a high armor save. You don't need a whole lot of models to start making a decent army with. And they have a lot of unique skills and abilities that can make a game go fairly easy for you. They won't necessarily break a game, but depending on the faction that you're going up against, it can either be a fairly easy learning curve to develop strategy and tactics, or it could be kind of a fairly easy walk in the park even if you're a new strategist, right? Because again, they have a high armor save, they have high toughness, and they've got 2 wounds a model, and their standard bolt rifle is a strength 4 battle gun. Or their mainline battle rifle is a strength 4. So you're going to be wounding most models on either 4s or 3s, regardless. And they have some pretty decent stat lines for their baseline infantry. That's what makes it easier for someone to play and get used to, and that's why they push Space Marines so hard. Because it's an easy faction to get into, they're easy to paint, they're easy to collect, you don't need a whole lot of them, and they've got a plethora of characters that can just make your army fairly potent for very little cost of effort. So that's, I think, easiest. Going into the middle ground or the medium, still easy, but, a little bit more work. You have your Mechanicus, you have your Sisters of Battle, and you have, your Custodes. Custodes, I would say, is the easiest out of all factions, similar to what Space Marines are. But there's only so many models you have, and you can get bored painting gold pretty quickly. And if you're a new painter, gold painted models are really hard to pull off and really make it difficult to make it look good. You have to learn at least a little bit of technique when it comes to painting full metallics, right? So there's that, right? And then on top of, same thing with the Sisters of Battle and most of the Mechanicus. Sisters of Battle you need more models of, but they still have that punching power like Space Marines, and Mechanicus you need more models of because they're about guardsman level. You need strategy, you need a lot of models to hold objectives. The models are highly specialized, so some models are highly specialized, and and you need to use them in certain ways, in certain tactics, in order to get a victory. So you have to develop that tactical ability. With Sisters, it's just move forward. There's very little tactics involved per se. What is what is this Warhammer cat race? What? I'm confused. There's no cat race in Warhammer. Are you talking about the Felinids? They're an abhuman category, and it was kind of a meme to begin with before it became canon. The Felonids. All right. Well, hold on. Let me finish the other, like going down the list, right? And then I'll explain that to you. So, um, then you get into your more difficult races to play and to get into, which is your Imperial Guard, your Necrons, uh, Orcs. But I think Orcs are a little bit higher on the list than Imperial Guard and Necrons. Um, your Tyranid, uh, your Eldar and Dark Eldar. And then Votan, I don't know. I have never played against Votan, so I couldn't tell you. Um, so the reason why Orcs, Guard, Tyranid, and Necron are kind of all together, and then there's Dark Eldar, Eldar, and Harlequins, is because one, it's a horde army for the most part, unless you play Imperial armor for the Imperial Guard, and then it's all tanks. That's my tea. Hold on, 2 seconds. All right. Two, you're going to be painting a lot of them, like a lot of them. Case in point, my guardsmen. Three, you're going to need to practice your skills and your tactical assessments in order to get a win. And then four, you just need a lot, because it's a horde army or a semi-horde army, and you're going to be painting a lot of them, and you're going to need to buy a lot of them. You're going to need just a disposable amount of income, a fairly large disposable amount of income. And that's with the orcs and the nids and the guard. Necrons, you don't necessarily need a whole lot of them, but you definitely need a lot of their main battle line. And again, same thing with the metallics. You can screw up a paint job real quickly if your metallic paint doesn't go well, or if you layer it too much. And then Eldar and Dark Eldar, not only do you have... it's kind of like the opposite. You don't need a lot of them, but they're super squishy, and you need to be tactical with them in order to get a win. Because they don't have a lot of staying power outside of fighting, and you have to be like, you have to basically, every time you commit a Dark Eldar or Eldar unit to the battlefield, it has to pay for its points cost and alpha strikes. Are Knights / Chaos Knights hard to play? Yes and no. They're hard to play because very few people want to play against a Knight list. If people will, if you say, "Oh, I'm bringing Knights," people are going to bring lists that get rid of Knights. That's where the difficulty comes in. Or people just will not want to play with you. Plus, most Knight lists aren't really good at holding objectives once you start overpowering objective markers with other units that have objective control. So it's one of those things where as soon as someone says, "Oh, I'm bringing Knights with me," I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, then every one of my goddamn Lehman Russ battle tanks are going to be Vanquishers, because I'm going to need to have to punch." What about Imperial Agents? Imperial Agents are a mix. It's Horde / Space Marine / Sisters. I haven't played that, so I don't necessarily know, but I know the characters can be really deadly. But again, that's on the list of like tactics and disposable income, and like the threshold's a little high. I hope that answered your question there, Chick McNugget. All right, but the Felonids. The Felonids are basically Gene Stiller cult. Gene Stiller cult is Horde. But Votan, again, I can't speak on Votan. I don't know enough about them, but I do know their model range is very limited, so they're pretty one-note faction. They're a pretty one-note faction, unfortunately. That's my assessment of them. But the Felonids, basically, in the Imperium, there are sanctioned abhuman races. The Ogrins are a sanctioned abhuman race. The Beastmen, depending on the world, are a sanctioned abhuman race. The Ratlings are a sanctioned abhuman race. the Psychers are sanctioned abhumans. And then you have the Felonids. And the Felonids are basically your anime cat people. Well, they range in appearance. Most people, when they talk about the Felonids, are they're talking about the meme Felonid, where it's just a cat girl with cat ears, or a cat boy with cat ears. In all honesty, we do not know what the Felonids look like, because Games Workshop made a meme about it at one point, talking about talking about the cat people, and then don't forget the Navigators, Royal Sanction. Yes, they are Royal Sanction mutants. They are. But basically, the Felonids are we don't know what the we don't know what the Felonids look like. There has not been an actual documented case of Games Workshop saying these are what Felonids are. The Nox, the tall, whatever they're called. Oh, the long. Well, so there's the Longshanks, which are the tall, lanky folks. The Nox are people that look like bat people, that live on nocturnal worlds. Then there's they call them Scalies. They are basically croc people. They're basically lizardmen. And then there are the aqua folks. I forget what they're called. But out of all of the abhumans that we just listed, the one the one abhuman that has not been depicted in Games Workshop canon is the Felonids. They are mentioned, but they are not depicted at all. All right. Any other questions? Come on, keep them coming. I love teaching. I love talking about the lore. Well, we're speaking of Alfarius, but Omegon was also a guy, or like the Primarch. No. So the the running theory, well, not the running theory. Alfarius and Omegon are twins. The Emperor made 2 twin Primarchs. Now, we do not know if that was intentional, and we also don't know if it's like a kind of a weird like split personality thing or a psychic embodiment thing. We don't know that. All right. Okay, we got 20 heads. And now we've only got 5 left. Sorry, I had to let. I left for a while. Oh no, no! I explained what a felonid was. Damn it! I didn't know. I'm sorry. It's okay. I can explain it again if you want me to.
Oh, excuse me.
No, you're excused. Like I don't. Personally, it must be intentional. I think personally, it's to help them aid their combat style. Oh, that one weird guy is separate into is is in 2 separate places. How confusing. Sure, sure. I mean, when we talk about Alfarius and Omegon, that could be a very simplistic way of saying, hey, we don't like these guys. These guys are fucking weird. We don't know who they are. That could be very much on the nose for them. But yeah, basically what I said about the Felonids is that they're an abhuman race, and they're sanctioned by the Imperium. We do not know what they look like. A lot of people associate the Felonids because of the memes in 40k as anime cat girls and cat boys. But we don't know what they actually look like. There's not been an official recorded description of the Felonid in 40k history, in the 40k lore. That's that. But what other questions do we have for lore? What army do you want to play? What's the Commissar's favorite Primarch? Ooh, that's a good question. I think I would just go with Vulcan, mainly because I do like the Salamanders, but are there still sanctioned beastmen? I thought the Ecclesiarchy declared them mutants a few centuries before the first millennium. No, there are actual sanctioned beastmen, abhuman regiments. It's just 9 times out of 10, the beastmen are corrupted by chaos. In Eisenhorn, they talk about a bunch of beastmen that were working in a plantation mine or a plantation processing plant to make syrup. They talk about the mutants that were beast-like. So clearly they're still around. They're just, I mean, the Ecclesiarchy's not looking too hard into it, if you catch my meaning. But who's my favorite Primarch? I would say Vulcan. because I like these salamanders. But ever since I read Plague War and how the author really made Gilliman very relatable, and Sons of the Forest, Lionel Johnson's Sons of the Forest, by Michael Brooks, I'm kind of torn between Lionel Johnson and Gilliman, just because they're better than their Horus Heresy versions. They're more relatable. They don't have this massive chip on their shoulder. They kind of learned from their mistakes from the heresy. They admit wrongdoing. So that's why I kind of like these iterations now. And I'm curious to see if other loyalist Primarchs go through the same apotheosis as Gilliman and Lionel Johnson did. Solid choice. Well, thank you. It's hard. It's hard. There are some decent Primarch books out there. But anyway, what's your other questions, Chicken McNugget? I know you've been rapid firing them to me. What's the origin of the Tyranids? Ooh, that's a good one. That's a really good one. So the origins of the Tyranids, if we go back Games Workshop lore style, they first appeared in, I want to say, Rogue Trader. Near to second edition. Tyranid Rogue Trader. I believe the Tyranid Rogue Trader model. Oh, no. Yeah, it was first edition. Was the Hunter Slayers are Tyranid Warriors, and then the Tyranid Warrior Battle Squad of High Fleet Kraken. This was 1992 when the Tyranid list came out. And they talk about Gene Stealers. They talk about the Band of Brood Brothers. They talk about the Mind Slave Squad, which were basically captured creatures that the Tyranids used not as food, but they put grubs into their heads. So you could have Chaos Space Marines, like all kinds of models that were captured by the Tyranids and have these Tyranid like Mind Flayer grubs in their heads and all that stuff. That all came out, right, like I said, circa 1992. Lore-wise, the Tyranids first came onto the scene shortly after. They talk about the Zotes. hold on. The Tyranids came shortly after third edition. They got revived in, I want to say, third edition. And they started with the first Tyrannic War. I think it was High Fleet Behemoth, not Kraken. That yeah, that came and attacked most of the um, of the Imperium. But yeah, it was their Tyranid warriors definitely were an interesting addition. Because they were like this weird alien H.R. Geiger mix. It definitely was. Time to go to bed. Have a good night. Fellers, have fun streaming. Okay, all right. Thank you, Chicken. And thank you for the questions. I was really hoping to to give you more lore for you to kind of pick your army, because I really think that I really want you to be able to make a well-informed decision. I like the Khan and Logar. Good choices. Alrighty. All right. Okay, sorry. Just trying to figure this out. All right. Yeah, okay. All right, cool. All right. Oh, tea. I need tea. And I'm back. Alright, sorry, I just had to top off on tea. Tea.
Damn it.
Alrighty. What's the problem?
I'm just working on Titus's head. I watered down my white too much.
It's okay. Accidents happen. Trust me. If there was ever a time where I made mistakes and got rich off of them, I wouldn't be playing Warhammer.
That is pretty true.
I'd be owning Warhammer stock.
There you are, Titus. There you are.
Titus. Yeah, he's he's honestly the first major ultramarine that kind of has broken through the 40K barrier into mainstream acknowledgement, which is kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it definitely is. It's a good feeling knowing that a character that I fell in love with back in my day has had a revamp, have brought people into a new hobby, a new atmosphere where they can meet people, talk about things, and see that character move from quote unquote poster boy to a character that people connect with, whether that be the Space Marine game, the secret level episode, or that be books or what have you, all sorts of media. It's just nice seeing a character develop from what, 13, 14 years ago to what he is now, and people know the name Titus when they talk about Warhammer.
Yeah, it's always fun. It's always fun.
Where's my Calgar?
Look, Calgar, you got a little Titus.
I do feel bad for Calgar. I really do. Sorry, I was just looking at these some of the newer models. I do feel kind of really upset that Calgar got sidelined. Like he's such a this man, this poor bastard, really I really want to start I really want to start a guard army. I don't like the standard Cadian look of the Cadians, although converting them to be renegade trader guard. Thought about converting them into renegade trader guard. Well, I mean, if you okay, all right, I'll show you the Cadian look, right? Right? Just so you can kind of understand the decision making process of modification. So I know I got sidetracked, but I do want to help tiny gray people. The problem with the new Cadian sculpts, right, is they are very much, this model needs to go in a certain way, otherwise it's not going to fit. The this particular model, this gun, this lost gun, will only fit into this model's particular body pose, and this plasma pistol and power sword will work with any static pose, but then you run into the problem of, if you put it on a different body that is somewhat static, you then can't put the plasma gun appropriately to model it after a static pose, right? So that's the only issue with the newer Cadian sculpts, is that it's not like these guys, where you can model them however you want, because their posts are static and the arms and the guns all kind of are interchangeable, right? So it's somewhat frustrating, I think, with the new Cadian sculpts. I do like the fact that they are detailed, but yeah. You can always buy the Renegade Minis from Blackstone Fortress, but then my arms would look all pretty samey. Yeah, that's the problem with the new Cadian sculpts. That's always going to be a struggle. I can't wait to finish this stuff. Oh, I can't wait. But anyway, back to my rant about Marneus Calgar. That poor bastard has held the Ultima Segmentum by his fucking massive power fists, all by himself, for over, I think it's like 5,000 years. I think Marneus Calgar is pretty old. Oh, it's not official. Sorry. I say 5,000. That would be Dante age. 600, approximately 600 years. He has held the Ultramarines chapter and the 500 worlds of Ultramar for literally 600 years. By his fucking lonesome. Dealt with the Tyranids, dealt with the Plague War, dealt with the Black Crusade, the 13th Black Crusade, dealt with the Necrons showing up at his doorstep, dealt with literally everything, and tried to do the same job that Guilliman was doing before Guilliman woke up. Literally heard his Gene-Sire breathe his last and final breath because the Eldar killed him in order to restart his, in order to reincarnate him. And the man can't seem to catch a goddamn break. Like, oh my lord. You want to talk about, like, chain-smoking packs of cigarettes all day. That man is literally a chimney stack of stress smoking. That man is going through it. So poor Marneus. And then on top of that, once Dad does resurrect, he makes things objectively better. And so Marneus Calgar just is kind of sitting in the corner like, I tried everything, and this man literally shows up and makes things better. And yet the man can't argue with results. Because he's quite literally arguing with his gene sire.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You want to talk about being redundant in many ways.
Wait, what is this? Evil Sun Scarlet. Fuck, I'm almost out.
So which version of Titus are you making? The special edition.
Yeah, the one that came out with the board game.
Oh yeah. I know which one you're talking about. Well, I'm going to sleep now. Okay, well, have a good night, Quackamole. Try and get some rest.
Bye.
I'm probably gonna have to call it here soonish myself because I gotta go get the girls and have an idea of what dinner's gonna be. Gotta figure out
Nice.
that.
What are you making for dinner?
I don't know. So I've got a bunch of chicken thighs. I kind of want to do I kind of want to do chicken parmesan, but that's more chicken breasts than anything.
Yeah, but you can debone those thighs.
No. They're already deboned. It's just it's the I don't know if I don't know if I want to be lazy and not have to batter a fuck ton of chicken. Because normally chicken
Tikka
parmesan.
masala.
Tikka masala? Chicken masala?
Yeah.
Ah, the girls don't like that stuff. Or they haven't tried
Really?
it. Yeah, they haven't tried it. And I'm afraid I'm going to screw it up. Chicken tacos. We could do chicken tacos. We could do
Chicken tacos.
we could do shredded chicken tacos.
That's
Actually,
pretty solid.
that sounds pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. Butter chicken. I would love to do butter chicken. I would love to do butter chicken. I don't think the girls would like it. See, I gotta cook. This is the hard part about being a parent. I gotta cook to their standards, not mine. I will also need to leave now to go sleep. Good rest. Good rest of your stream. Well, thank you very much, Tiny Great People. I appreciate you supporting and whatnot. By the way, I looked at your benefits; those are nice. But still, that's a lot of work. But yeah, I will talk to you later, Tiny Great People.
What kind of brushes do you use?
I use the Games Workshop ones. I do have some.
How do you find them?
I do have some other off-brand ones that occasionally I'll use if I want to feel like I get a wild hair up my butt. But realistically, I only use the Games Workshop ones.
How do you find them?
They're good. I mean, they're not. I mean, they're. I'm not going to complain about a brush, but I don't necessarily have like. When you get into like the higher levels of painting, certainly there are certain brushes that painters use because they're potentially objectively better, or they just happen to be brush snobs. I'm not one of those. I will use I will use another brush if I believe it is objectively better than the Games Workshop brushes. But so far, I haven't found one that's like, oh yeah, this one's solid. Which just kind of goes to show that GW can really corner the market when they want to put their minds to it.
Oh, absolutely.
Damn it. God damn it, Janet. Alright, now I gotta pull out a Voxcaster to make sure I'm painting him correctly. Ew. Because the last thing I need to do is screw up a basic style painting. No. That is a replay. I need a Voxyvox. Oh, I gotta get up and actually do it. Damn it. I'll be back. Oh, yarn, buddy. Of course, Voxcaster I'm looking for.
That's 5 o'clock. $5 o'clock on a Friday. Where'd the backpack go? Oh, right there.
There we go. Huh? All right, I'll be right back, guys. I'm just gonna do a water in, water out break.
We're all good.
Yeah, like I said, had to do a quick water in, water out break. Right. Here we go. Okay. All right, now that I have my Foxcaster model, I can take a look and see what I did for him. Yeah, okay, all right. So it's going to be silver all around. All right, well, not silver all around, but it's pretty close to all around. Do that, and then in about 20 minutes, I think we'll call it. Or not 20 minutes, 40 minutes, I think we'll call it. Just so I can prep and do stuff and then get the girls. And then tonight, I'll get back on. I don't know if I'm going to... I think I'm going to do Baldur's Gate. Oh, son of a bitch.
How is that game?
It's good. It's really good. Like it's you know, um, it has pretty decent replayability. But you know, it's not like if you're a fan of like actually getting into a campaign and uh like not knowing how to kind of game other people's reactions as like player characters, right? Instead of like your NPC party members. Um, you know, it doesn't necessarily scratch the entire itch, but it's a really good game. You know, if you're looking for a game to at least satisfy your D&D cravings, that's definitely one of them. It's definitely one of them.
Yeah, I've never played it. I've heard a
It
lot of good things.
it's good. It's good. I again, I think Larian could have done a not a sequel but an expansion and could have gone through like deeper into the Underdark or involved more of Faerun. Uh, but not hating what they did. It's a very nice, polished game. Um, and you get what you pay for, which is certainly a value. Um, but again, that's like um, that's that like there are certain things that I think Larian could have done and they didn't. And I don't know if it was because of time, if it was because of um, resources, if they chose not to do it because of potential story conflicts with other IP. Um, so we may never know exactly why they stopped, why they didn't do a sequel, other than they were like, no, we just wanted to do this one game and then that's it, and then we're moving on to other bigger, better things. I think that was personally a mistake. I think they should have done a sequel because I think it it would have been. I think it was them that really made the franchise what it was. Um, Not saying that the other like the older versions of Baldur's Gate were shitty and stuff. I'm just saying um, they definitely made it more, because Baldur's Gate was so successful, they made D&D more successful. And honestly, Hasbro, they've been fucking up left, right, and center, so they really needed to win. And Larian was just like, that sucks. We're not going to give you that win. So, we're going to have to clean that up and let that dry. Damn it. I hate metal paint sometimes when they run all over the model. So the one thing I don't like about Games Workshop paints, or really any model paint for that matter, is that if you fuck up the water to paint ratio on your brush,
Oh, it's gone.
it's fucking over. It floods the entire model. And the only good thing is that after it dries, you can kind of correct it quick enough to where, you know, it's not.
That looks normal.
Yeah, it looks normal and it's not catastrophic. And I really shouldn't be worrying about this much detail, and I should just be like throwing just paint on the models and getting it done, but at the same time I want them to look semi-good. I want there to be at least some uniformity.
Okay. I think I just need to put a highlight there, and his head is done. It's only taking me that freaking long to do it.
Yeah, but look how much look at what your patience got you. You should be proud of that.
Well, I am. I just spent way too long on this model.
I get you. I understand that frustration. I really do. I spent too long on this guard refresh project, and I'm still not even done. I still got 30 stormtroopers and a couple of tanks to do.
Jesus.
But at the same time, I gotta get to these supporter gifts. You know.
Yeah, that's a lot of guardsmen.
So I think
I have painted ever since this refresh. This will be what, 3 command squads and then 60 guardsmen, 75 infantry. I've painted 75 infantry models, not to include the Primera Psyker or the Commissar. That I've also done.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Which again, I'm not complaining that I'm doing this. You know, but it's one of those things where I'm going to have to do a model refresh of my Dark Eldar. I'm going to have to do a model refresh of my Orcs. Like, it's going to be pretty wild.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to make it look good because I'm gonna give this as a gift to one of my master corporals.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I met him on my course and he's a big Warhammer fan. So
That's
I was just like, all right, well, I got a Titus model and I got 2 more in my backlog, so I might as well just give him this one.
that's a sweet gift. It's always sweet.
But knowing me, it'll be the best one out of the 3 that I paint. And then he'll be like, damn it, I should have kept that one.
Should have kept that one. Fuck. What's wrong with being a little greedy? By the time you're done, you're just like, God damn it.
Yeah. What the hell are they doing? Yeah, that works. Alright. Because we can. Let's just glue it to him. See what happens. No! Oh, that's fine. will work for now. Where is it? Where is it? Where is my glue?
All right. Where's that last one? There you are. Yeah, if I manage to do all my stormtroopers, my guard refresh will be literally complete. I'll probably like add a Rogaldorn. Well, I'll probably add the Rogaldorn and my Baneblade like in the paint queue because they're already built. But everything else will be. I might add a team or two of Aquilons, but then that's it. Like I don't need anything else unless they make Valkyries more viable, or they make being mechanized in chimeras or Toroxes, potent. Like my army's done. And then I can work on like other stuff, like obviously my orcs, my Eldar, my Dark Eldar, obviously the Chaos factions, like the Chaos models that I've collected through like the Dark Vengeance set and all that stuff.
What model are you looking forward to the most to paint?
Well, asides my gifts to my supporters, I would love to start doing maybe the revamp of the Dark Eldar, because I can actually like expand out my palette and do other colors.
Other than blue?
Oh, yeah, other than black, black and olive drab. Um,
Yeah, I get you on that one. I'm stuck in a blue and red rut.
and the reason why I can't do that for the orcs is because so when I started the channel, I bought an orc army that was like ready out of the box, like could be fielded, make 2,000 points, and yeah, it wouldn't be competitive, but it'd still be fun to watch and
Yeah.
play. So so that's why I bought the list, um, and it was based off of um, the guy made it uh, like a World War II Imperial Japanese like army paint where it was all like beiges and greens and tans. And he called it Wog Morkamoto, and he fashioned the orc um, war boss into a samurai. So to me, I'm like, oh, that's just perfect. This is before I even knew I got stationed in Japan. So all of his knobs had katanas instead of choppas, instead of power claws. Um, his soldiers all of his orcs were shootas. Um, instead of slugga choppa boys. Um, uh, I'll take pictures of it, but it was just really unique. Um, and so I'm like, oh, that's perfect. It's got an interesting take. Most of the army is painted. All the Gretchens looked kind of like samurai conscript peasants, you know, with pistols and all that stuff. Like I get down with that. Um, so I want to redo that, but I got to rebase everybody. So that's the first hurdle. The second hurdle is I'm
pretty sure the new orc boys, if they're not beast nagas, they're definitely larger sized to the to regular orcs. So you know, I got to deal with that, and then try and think of what else. But yeah, it's gonna be a revamping the orcs is gonna take a bit, and then I got to redo the war boss because his samurai sword snapped. So I got to figure out how to make that again. And then of course I got to rebase him as well. So but yeah, Dark Eldar I think because it'll allow me to experiment with other colors that I haven't done that before.
Okay.
And then Eldar would probably be my second. My Eldar will probably be like the second thing I do, and then of course the Chaos Marines. Not that I wouldn't, because the reason why I don't want to do the Chaos Marines first is that a majority of my models are all cultists, all Dark Vengeance and below, like all Dark Vengeance and above cultists, and I really do not want to do another Horde army that's strictly cultists. Even though that's kind of like unintentionally that's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, was make Traitor Guard and and cultists and all that stuff. But at the same time, I don't. That'll take me a lot more strength to do. And it seems like every single time they come out with a new cultist model, the older cultists, like from Dark Vengeance and whatnot, get phased out. And I'm just like, God damn it, stop doing that!
Yeah, they just update the list.
But yeah. Okay. What do I want to do next? You know what? I'll probably end the stream here because I still got stuff I got to do around the house, and I gotta get done. And then these guys need to dry, so I'll probably do the bionics later. Yeah. Well, actually, hold on. How many bionics do I have? I got 3 bionics. Oh, I could do those quickly, and then I'll end the stream. That's what I'll do. I can do those 3 eye sockets real quick. And then I'll end the stream. And then I'm almost done with these. And then I have to do dun 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 eyeballs. All
Yay.
fucking oh no, I gotta do these guys' faces too. Fuck. I thought I was done with faces. Son of a bitch. And skin tones. God damn it. Well, let me do these bionics. And then let's see. Do I have a guy with a bionic? I don't think I do. Nope. Oh, yes. Yes, I do. Okay, I painted that one all silver. Alright, cool. And so that is what we're going to do. We're going to paint this one all silver. Because it'll make it easier.
done a movie night recently?
Well, I was watching Magnificent Seven the other night. I put it out in the chat. Russ came in at the end of the movie. But I didn't realize until just recently, and I didn't put two and two together until the movie like kind of started, that it's basically a Western version of Akira Kurosawa's Seven Samurai. I
Oh,
didn't
really?
I didn't really put two and two together. Still good, fantastic retelling. But I really didn't like kind of key in on it until it was like gathered up, and I'm like, oh, I've seen this before. Which is always nice. It's always nice to like figure out. Like it's always nice to like kind of get keyed in and figure out the wink and the nod of like whatever you're doing, and you're just like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's actually really well done. Denzel Washington, Chris Evans, Ethan Hawke, the guy who played Private Pile, Lawrence something or other. There's a not a no named Asian actor. I forget his name though. Don't want to. I can't remember who he is, but I've seen him in other ones. Peter Peter Sarsgaard's in it as the baddie, as the business mogul baddie, a bad guy. The female actress, I've seen her before, but I can't put my mind on where I've seen her. But all in all, not a bad movie. Not a bad movie. And then we did Aliens not that long ago.
Such a good movie.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Now we can say we're done. Because I did all the bionic eyes. All right. Okay, we're going to end it here, folks. Thank you all for watching. I hope everybody has enjoyed this episode. I know it was kind of short, and I know it was really disjointed, and I know I didn't get a whole lot done, but it's because I like talking to you guys and everything else. And I enjoy being able to chat and talk and nerd out and talk about lore and all that stuff. Lord knows I've been in the community for about 20 plus years, so I know a lot of lore, and I'm sorry if my answers were kind of slow. I just wanted to give the right information to the without misleading people, because I think the biggest issue with Warhammer is that everyone's so excited, but they want the information. They want a complex origin story boiled down to the most digestible format, which normally is in memes or meme-based information. And I am trying not to do that. I'm trying to give you the accurate information as presented by somebody who's been here for a hot minute. But thank you all for watching. I hope you all have enjoyed this live stream. We're almost done with these guardsmen. Oh my God, we are almost done, and then I can start the going away, or not the going away, the supporter gifts for people. If you are a supporter, right, you will get your gift. You have to just put in the time, right? You can't just show up for one or two streams and say that you're a supporter and then I never see you again. You got to be active in the community. You got to be invested into the community. right? These gifts are for people who I think have earned not just my thanks for obviously watching and subscribing and all that stuff, but who are positive members of the community and who are willing to help people, new people come into the community. So that is my gift to people. These are you earn it. It is not you earn it through action. It is not just given. Um, so um, Not saying that I'm not going to give away gifts every once in a while to random people within the community, but there's these particular ones are personalized and all that stuff. Um, but anyway, thank you all for watching. My name is Commissar Hecht. I'll see you guys in the next episode. I hope you all have a lovely weekend. I will be filming. I don't know if I'm going to be doing Total War Warhammer or Baldur's Gate. I'm on the fence. I really want to do Baldur's Gate, but I also want to do Total War Warhammer. Because Baldur's Gate, hold on. Where are we in Baldur's Gate? I think we are to end of Act 1 and going into Act 2. So if we do that, I would probably want to finish up Act 1. And then Act 2, we'll probably want to do that afterwards. Yeah, we'll probably do Act 2 afterwards. So, and then tomorrow night we'll probably do Total War Warhammer 3 before the big update, before the huge patch comes down, because I think the Tides of Torment are coming down sometime in December. So that's going to happen. And then we'll enjoy that. But anyway, thank you all for watching. My name is Commissar Hecht. I'll see you guys in the next episode. If you like what you see and you want to be a part of the community, Discord is in the description below. On YouTube, on Twitch, it's in the description and all that stuff below. Like, comment, subscribe. Join my Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.